Hello, it's Laurie or BlockchainBrad speaking, and today I'm honoured to have Zhongxin here as the CEO and representative for BlockCloud. Today is special because it's a very quick update to let you know about three key things. One is the listing that's about to happen on Jumpstart. We're going to find out what that means for OKEx. Also, we're going to look at enterprise developments and investor, or more importantly, changes to how people supported the original utility of BlockCloud. We're going to find out what that means as well. So Zhongxin, thank you very much for this very quick update so people can be informed, especially those who do support your utility. Well, now let's get stuck into it. Firstly, BlockCloud. Can you let those who may not know about BlockCloud know what you are and what you stand for?
Hi, Brad. Thank you for this interview. I'm Ming from BlockCloud. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BlockCloud. BlockCloud is a blockchain-based advanced TCP IP that provides constant connectivity for dynamic networks. We combine the advantages of blockchain technology and future internet technology to upgrade and improve the current under-layer internet protocols which the current blockchain networks and the internet applications operate. And by using BlockCloud, we can provide better network performance for users. Like we provide better mobility, credibility, fairness, and security for internet users.
Right.
This is what
Got it. So if you'd like to know more, there's a lot of information you can access on Medium. You can go to previous interviews. There's a great deal of information that BlockCloud themselves have provided on their own website and YouTube. So check them out if you'd like to know more. Remember, it's a layer zero solution. It's literally the layer beneath the blockchains that we see emerging now to support them in a very base level, so that, again, you see that interoperability functionality. Let's move again now to the discussion before about listing. We had some pre-discussion. That's why we really don't have a lot of time until the appointment. But Jumpstart, what does it actually mean? OKEx has come up as an announcement through Twitter. All of the channels are really abuzz now with this discussion. What does it mean, though?
Okay, thank you for this question. I believe this is the question a lot of people want to ask. And so last time we talked, so I said I couldn't comment on exchange, but this time finally I can.
Yes,
so
that's what everyone wants to know.
Yeah, so Jumpstart is a new tokens web platform for OKEx for projects to be listed on their platform, and they can use a token swap process to buy some initial tokens for the public community at the very beginning. And after that token swap, the trading will be open very soon, like several hours or within 1 or 2 hours after this token swap.
Right, so just to clarify, it's a promotional event that it really enables you to launch your whole BlockCloud token design into the economy, into the public access domain, so that people can start to engage.
Yes.
Right, okay. So Jumpstart, why was it called Jumpstart? What's the implication there?
I think, I don't really know how they made the name Jumpstart, but I think jump is to go higher, and start is from this point. I think it's a new milestone for projects.
Got it. So really, you can liken that to the semantics of Launchpad and these other ones we've seen.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. And also, this happens. The official announcement is that this will happen in April the 10th.
Okay, April the 10th, so not far away. Can you give us some specific time, because that's going to be important, given that previous Jumpstarts or Launchpad events have really not afforded much time at all. And quite frankly, I need to ask you this as well. How are you going to make sure that bots don't simply win out? Because we just don't know with previous activity what the real deal is. So have you really thought about making sure that there's transparency and fairness in this process of the Jumpstart?
Yes, I think so. So that's why we chose the jumpstart, not other not launch pads, because I believe OKEx has announced its official rules for how we can or the public can participate in jumpstart. By analyzing the rules, we believe that it's a little bit complicated, but to be more complicated, the exchange, it is harder for the exchange to control.
Right, I'll try to translate that. So what you're saying is that by having these really clear rules that are set out by OKEx, that really ensures that there's integrity in this system. So for those who aren't sure what those rules are, I'll speak to Dr. Ming and make sure that there's a link below so you can access those rules, because they are public for you if you'd like to know more. Can you tell us a little bit more about exactly when people can expect this, and also why you chose this process?
Because I think in the current market condition, we need to do some innovations for the crypto space to get attention and to get more people involved in supporting the project, and also to give people more confidence about this space. So I think the way of doing launchpad or jumpstart can let more people care about the project and get more people in, to get more people understand the project and attract more people. And also there are some a lot of following strategies, and we will do a very good market making for maintaining the market. So I think
I want to talk to you about that in a moment with the market making side, but I wanted to go back a moment, because you're making it clear that participation has been designed from the outset to make sure it's inclusive for the public. That's the whole point of Jumpstart. But tell us how can people participate in a fair and just way, because everyone is sick, I think, of the previous things we've seen. And I won't name names and discuss who or what, but quite simply, having 7 seconds or 14 seconds or having even 2 minutes is just not acceptable for many people, because it doesn't really afford a fair way to interact in this new style of listing. So tell us how Jumpstart's going to be fairer and how people can actually access this. What's the process of participation?
So I can generally describe how people can participate, but to get a detailed understanding about how it works, I think we can go to the public channels of OKEx. So there are official announcements about that. So for participating, people can register into OKEx, and then maybe have some OKB in their hands, and for the token swap. So when the jumpstart starts, so we can.
So just to clarify there, they have to hold OK. Did you say OKEx token? OKB. Yeah. So they have to have those tokens just to participate. Is there a minimum that they have to have?
I think so. It's according to the rules. So so everything is clear in the announcement.
So so they need those tokens. So what's next after making that token swap?
So just use the tokens to swipe the BlockCloud tokens when it starts. And I don't think we can control the time, because what the people, the public want is that we do not control anything. So
but I need to jump in there for a moment and speak for the people. And I can tell you, Dr. Ming, that's actually one of the problems, is that many people don't get in. They don't have fair access because there are people lined up in different spaces, let's say offices almost. I've seen them online where they're just literally waiting to pounce. and they are hitting those keys as quickly as they can in groups, in masses. There's suggestions also of bot mechanisms that are really changing the process to be unjust. So how can we really trust this process to know that it's not just a case of a 7-second game?
I think whether it's a 7 seconds or 9 seconds or 2 seconds or 9 hours, it depends on the quality of the project and the number of people participated.
Sure, sure. But again, that's the frustration a lot of the community have, is that, you know, for 7 seconds, let's be real, Dr. Ming, imagine us being in that situation. It's so difficult and so frustrating. Do you think that this is the best way to actually have it so that it's a mad rush? Because that's what I'm going to, you know, put forward to you.
To what I'm currently, for my current understanding, so for us, we do not control the time. And for OKEx, I believe currently there's no such a kind of operations to make the time shorter. So it's just very natural.
Okay. So right, so there's no control. So we can essentially expect a very expedient process. I think that's fair to say, because already your project is very hyped in the space. Given also that you're arguably a top tech team and top tech, you know, startup, that would also.
Yeah. So maybe for more details or more confidence, so people can go to the website and analyze the rules. But for me, what I can guarantee from the project side is that we do not have intention to make the time shorter. So if it is really 10 hours, it is 10 hours.
Right, it won't be 10 hours, I can assure you of that. Now, with regard to OKEx, let's talk about that. Why OKEx? Why not choose the Binance Launchpad, for example? Why not choose Huobi Prime? You know, what was it about OKEx that made you want to start there?
I think so. They are very, actually, I think I can talk why they choose us, because I don't want to comment on other exchanges. Yeah.
Very professional.
But the reason why they chose us is that from their official announcement, there are 4 reasons. One is our team, and we have a very, very professional team. And another thing is that we are having a good job, and also the vision of BlockCloud is very good, and they like the vision to make the internet better, not just for some fake
project.
And the market opportunity in the long term is a huge. There are huge market opportunities, and this is reason 2. And reason 3 is that we have got so many worldwide supporters from the community side and also from the investor side. We have more than 180 institutional investors from 28 countries and regions in the world. So
okay, I want to stop you there for a second. So 28 countries globally, 120. Is that was I correct?
120. So
120 investors. So they are traditional and crypto VCs alike. That's a really large number.
Both crypto VCs and traditional internet, traditional capitals. That means we are really a global and distributed project that both suit for the idea of blockchain technology and the internet.
Right. And I remember speaking to you about this previously in many discussions we've had in interviews. You clearly were not a fan of giving a huge amount to any specific party. You always said that. So is this also why you had so many investors? So you distributed this quite substantially even in the early days?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think that the internet, we are doing the internet job. We hope to improve the internet, and the internet is to make everyone in the world to enjoy it, not just in America or in China or in Australia. So we need to get support from all from the people all over the world and provide our technology and opportunities globally.
Right. It makes sense because if we can use the analogy for a moment, Dr. Ming, of nodes, if we can imagine for a moment that these investors act as nodes, that really showcases the potential spread and blossoming of this new internet, this decentralized internet mechanism, because arguably those investors have directly support that utility, especially if they're traditional investors that are somehow involved in different verticals that will benefit from this new technology that you're creating, which we'll talk about in a separate interview when we have more time. But let's talk a little bit more about the investors. We have to use that term because they did put their money up to support your utility in a pre-utility period of time where they supported the potential of your utility. So your investors, now you had a nice, you raised funds prior to this event with the Jumpstart. Right now, you're going through a period of time discussing changes to that. Can we discuss that briefly so that you can inform the public about that clearly?
Yeah. So I would like to say to the public that we are changing the lockup periods of private investors, and also through this opportunity, I want to sincerely express our appreciation to our onboard investors for supporting us to do that. Because of the current market condition and for the sake of the long run of the project, we have to reduce the initial token supply to get a healthier token supply gradually, and we can do better market making and get more people supporting and get more benefits for everyone in long term. And to do so, by a careful calculation, we have to reduce some of the token supply at the very beginning or the beginning of 1 to 3 months. And we talked this idea to all investors on board, and most of the investors supported us. And so finally, we decided to do it together with our investors to make the market better.
Got it. Right. So essentially what you're saying, I'll just interrupt and help you out a bit. So what you're saying is that you've changed and amended those terms to really reflect the current status of the market, to protect the interests of BlockCloud, to ensure that you have a viable future economically. And you've also consulted with all of the parties. Some arguably didn't like it, but the majority did. And I also want to say to the public, I was one of those investors. I supported this pre-utility. I can tell you that as an Australian, and I'm really proud of that actually, that I did support BlockCloud. And I also am aware, given that I am one of them, that this really did happen, that we as the supporters of this utility had to concede for the benefits of BlockCloud. And certainly that was a discussion had between Dr. Ming and many parties. So I do want the public to know that. Now, Dr. Ming, you mentioned this transparency. Obviously, you'll release more information about the nature of this lockup change explicitly in the future. But can you just reassure the public, was this unanimous? Was this a sweeping move you made where there were no back-end deals, no special preferences? Because obviously that's really important that we trust that you've made this fair.
Yeah, so that's what we have done for the past 1 week. So we contacted every and each onboard investors of us and explained them the reason and get them support. And also we gave the same term, or so everyone have the same condition.
Got it. And thank you again for your transparency, because obviously you're going to relay that information to the masses or to everyone in crypto when the time's right. But again, you've done that with me tonight, and I appreciate it. Now, one last thing I wanted to ask you, and that's with regard to enterprise, because I know you have to go to another engagement now and an appointment, but enterprise development. How, obviously, you've built out revenue potential, you're discussing more business right now on the blockchain for this layer 0 solution. Who are you talking to? How's all that going in your roadmap?
What I can currently see is that we are doing very well towards that direction. And maybe this time I cannot comment on the name, but next time, I think our next interview, so you will have some name.
Got it.
For
okay.
the enterprises.
Well, I look forward to hearing about that, because obviously revenue is an essential part to see your growth. But we talked about the most important thing, and that is with regard to the jumpstart. It's about to happen on OKEx. Now, just to really reiterate, what was the exact date of that?
April 10th.
So April the 10th?
Yes.
And do you happen to know what time specifically? That's going to be very important.
It hasn't been officially announced.
Okay. Once it is, I'll make sure that it's published on Twitter, and I'll try and add it to
it will be published in the public channels.
Got it. Yeah. So make sure you check that out, obviously, if you're considering this, because it's not financial advice, but given what's happened in the past, timing will matter. Now, finally, I'd like to thank you also for disclosing that new and updated information with regard to lockup. That's really beneficial. And also just thank you generally for providing this very quick update for the public. If you'd like to know more, make sure you check out the BlockCloud channels. We'll update you more about the developments of BlockCloud, whether it be post Jumpstart or some more information pre. But for now, I'd like to thank not just the community, but also to you, Dr. Ming, for your time, because obviously you're really busy, and I've managed to just get in and find a small chunk of time in your day, and wish you all the best as you lead up to April 10th when the Jumpstart does happen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brad.
You're very welcome. Thanks, mate.